Hello everybody, it's Teresa. I'm back. I'm here today with the Potch Paper Lady, my sister Sherry, and she is allowing me the opportunity to share a craft project with you on today. So today's project, I will be showing you how to use cereal boxes and other items that you may have instead of chipboard. So this is our project for today. Isn't this a cutie? This is for any season and any reason. But when I made it for the purpose of an Easter basket. This is the size basket that we will be making on today. And like I said, it is for any season, any reason. I made these other two, and I'm going to share the measurements for these in the description box. Aren't they cute? Y'all know what time it is. It's time to make. Let's a closer look at today's project. When finished, it will measure 6 by 4 by 3.5. And this little cutie, when finished, is 2.5 by 3 by 2. Remember, the measurements are in the description box for these two. You will need a cereal box or any type of box. You will also need 4 pieces of paper, 12 by 12, lightweight or cardstock. I've chosen these 4 for today's project. Embellishments of your choice and the adhesive of your choice. I will be using glue as well as tape. And we're going to go ahead and remove the ends of our cereal box. And I'm just going to cut off the edges. So once we've removed the ends of our cereal boxes, so now that I have my cereal boxes cut, what I'm going to do next, I need 3 pieces. We're going to cut our 3 pieces at 4 by 6. I'm going to turn it this way, and it looks like this is 11. So on the short end, we're going to cut at 6. Then turn. And on the long end, we're going to cut at 4. And cut at 4 again. So take your next piece on the short end. I'm going to cut on the 6 again. I'm going to get 4 by 6. Now I've got my 3 4 by 6s. And now I need 2 6 by 3.5. So now we're left with a piece that comes in at 7 by 6. On the 7-inch side, we're going to cut it down to 3.5. So now we have our 2 pieces that we need at 6 and 3.5. Now let's take our 2 pieces that measure 6 by 3.5 and a ruler, flip it over, and when you get your 6-inch measurement, you're going to make a mark at 1 inch and again at 5. That's on both of them. You're going to make a mark at 1 inch and again at 5. And that's on both of our pieces. Once that is done, we're going to fan out. You've seen Sherry do this a lot. On the mark that you made, you're going to fan out and just take your ruler and go up and fan out. Almost looks like a wing. So we're going to fan out on that. We're going to do it on this one. We're going to fan out to your edge. We're going to fan out on this one. Okay. So now that you've got your markings, just put it back in your scoreboard or your cutter, turn it, and cut that piece off. And for those of you that aren't comfortable doing that part, you can use your scissors. Same results. Okay, I'll put this one back in. Run it through the cutter. You know, Sherry keeps a very neat desk, so along the way I'm going to have to push things through the side the way she does. So here we go. We've got our 2 pieces now, and yours should look like this. Now that we've got our pieces cut, we will begin to tape one side. You know, Sherry's an expert with this tape. I'm going to try to do it the way she does. It's amazing the way she's able to get her tape on here. Okay. Now that we've got our chipboard pieces or our cereal boxes covered in our tape, it's time to put our project together. You're going to take the first 2 pieces of your 12 by 12 and cut them both down to 9 by 12. Okay, and you're going to save the remaining pieces because we will be using those to make our handles. So now that we've got our 2 pieces that measured 9 by 12, we're going to take those pieces, and because these patterns are basically doing the same thing, if this was some directional paper, you would need to turn to make sure that you've got them going the opposite direction. But we can leave these the same. So we're going to take our paper, we're going to take our 1/2 inch tape. You all have seen Sherry do this before, and we're going to join these 2 pieces together. We're going to remove the backer and join our 2 pieces. So you want to remove your backer, take your second piece, and join them together, starting at the edge. Okay, once we've done that, okay, alrighty. And as you can see, when I put my pieces together, they didn't quite come out evenly, but you don't have to worry about that because we're going to be removing some of this once we lay our chipboard pieces down, or our cereal boxes, I can say. And you always want to use the center of your paper where you joined your paper together to lay that center piece. So what we're going to do at this time, we're going to remove the tape from the back of our cereal boxes. You know, I need to make sure I do like my sister does, so that makes the tape come up a whole lot easier. Okay. Take the first piece, and I was telling Sherry, because of my peripheral visions, there's times that I need to use a ruler to make sure I'm not slanting. So I'm going to take the ruler, I've got it in the center, and I'm going to put it up to the back of the ruler. And I'm going to leave my ruler here to make sure that I get the other 2 pieces aligned with that one. So we're going to remove our backing. Got a little lay over here, but I'll be able to fix that and use it on the front when the time comes. I can tell you I've gotten better with removing my tape. So when I lay this down, it's going to lay up against that. Then I'm going to take my 3rd one and do the same. And as you all can tell, I might be just a little bit nervous, but I've got a great teacher, and I know you're going to like your finished project. So I've got all 3 down. I'm going to take my big old spatula, and And I'm gonna just work it. And now at this point you can use your scissors, and we're gonna cut this down to size. We want to leave enough for our mitering. So I'm going to cut this down. I'm going to trim a little bit of this off. Not a lot. Okay. You know, I like the finished project. Sometimes it's not how you get there, but that you get there. So now I've got my pieces joined together. I'm going to take just a little bit off of this one as well. Just a little bit. Okay, so now that we've cut everything out, we want to go around the edges and give it a simple score. So that our paper doesn't tear. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to go in between here, go in between here, I lift up, and we're going to lift up. So now that that's done, we want to miter our corners. I'm going to miter in, take a little bit more of that one off. Going to miter in. And y'all know that we miter so that we can get that professional fold over look. So we're going to miter all 4 ends. So we're going to use the tape runner because later on when we adhere the inside liner to the cereal box, we'll be using a stronger adhesive. So you want to take your tape runner, run it along the sides. Then you're going to take it, lay it down, use your big old spatula, turn it to the other side, use your tape runner. Okay, I love the sound of that tape runner. We're going to use the tape runner here too. And see how some of my ends are ragged, and that's okay because once everything gets put together, you won't be able to see this. So when you have little oopsies like this, don't worry about it because as you move along in your project, you won't see them. We're going to do this side. Now that we've got this side done. Okay. All right. We're going to take our big old spatula or our bone folder and we're going to make sure everything's secured. We're going to go in here and we're going to go in here. Then we tip our edges to get the pointy off. Okay. All right, so now that that's done, so now we're going to measure, and it looks like it is going to be 12 on the long side by 6. Now that we've got our jacket done, let's cut our inside liner piece. We need to cut a piece at 5 3/4 by 12. Okay. All right. See how beautifully that fits? So now we want to take our 1/2 inch tape, decide which side we want to use. I think I like this one. So I'm going to put the tape on this side. Okay. Let me see if I can do that move Sherry does with the, oh yeah. Put the tape there. Let me cover this in tape. Not sure where you are, but it's real cold here. We were 70 degrees last week, and today it is 37 degrees. So it's a little chilly here. Okay, so we're going to cover this in our tape. Let's take our big old spatula and make sure our tape is laid down real good. And once it is, we're going to remove the backings of our tape. Okay. Okay. Now that we've got it completely covered, you want to take it and you want to line it up with your jacket and place it down. We're going to place it down together. That looks like a good centering. Place it down. Take my big old spatula or your bone folder. Make sure everything is there. Then we're going to lift it up and work it in. Oh, that looks real good. That's coming together real good. This is a cereal box. Okay, so look at that. So now we're going to take the pieces that we had left over earlier and we're going to cut them down. We're going to need 2 at 1 inch. So I'm going to cut 1 inch and another 1 inch. These are going to become our handles. Okay. Now, you know, Sherry's real good at eyeballing, but I'm not. So I'm going to flip over and I'm going to make that score mark at a 1/2 inch so that when I fold, it will come in, hopefully, evenly. But it's okay if it doesn't. Fold these in half. I am going to cut a little bit off because I did want my handles to be about 10 inches. Open these up. I won't be using glue. I'll be using my tape. And we're going to take our tape. And because this is 1/2 inch tape, when you put the tape down, it's going to be a real good fit for your handle. So that's one handle. And this is our second handle. Tape down. So now that I've got the tape down for our handles, I'm going to use the big old spatula, get it a good stick. You can use the adhesive of your choice. Folding those together. I'm going to move this out the way, and now I'm going to take my bone folder, Posh Lady bone folder, and curl my ends. Oh, look at that curl. Isn't that cute? So, okay. So let's take our last piece of 12 by 12, and we're going to cut it down to 6. That's going to give us our 2 pieces. So we're going to cut this. We've got our remaining 2 pieces of our cereal box. So let's remove the backers. And what we're going to do at this point, you're going to take and place it down at the edge. That's 1. And that's 2. Y'all, I am not really good with this little gadget, but on this project, I am able to back it up along the cereal box and cut. So I'm going to trim off my excess because I've got a permanent guide. If it were me, I'd be going diagonally and all over the place. So that one's done. Sherry just makes it look so easy. Okay. So I'm going to use a little bit of glue. Try not to be too heavy-handed, but I'm going to use a little bit of glue on this one. Then we're going to flip this up. Oh, I see that I left my collectibles label on, but you know what? That's okay, because when we put it together, that will be on the inside and you won't be able to see it. So I'm going to just work that glue in. Work that glue in. Okay, so that's one. So once you've laid down, we want to go back now and cut this out. And like I said, this is the only time I use this. Usually, I'm using my scissors. Okay. Now that we have our side pieces done, we have everything in place to finish off our beautiful basket. Okay? So now we're going to take these pieces, and remember the one where I used that part, but we're going to do a place setting. So we're going to take it and we're going to place it, and that does well. We're going to take our second one, we're going to place it, that does well, and we're going to get ready to put our basket together. So this is where Sherry might make some comments, because me and glue, we get along real good, but unfortunately I use a lot of glue.
I will look away at this point.
Okay. I'm not the glue user like Sherry. She does such a good job staying steady with her glue. But I'm going to try. And that's coming along. So if you're like me and your glue goes all over the place, it's okay, because one thing about this glue, we know that when it dries, it's colorless. So I'm going to place this down. Got to turn it the right way. And I'm going to lift this up. And I'm going to lift this up. And I'm just going to hold it and work my glue in. Okay. Wait for that glue to take. And as I'm waiting for that glue to take, I'll work it in a little bit. And I'll get it a little bit of it off there. So I went in about 1/4 of an inch, as you can see along the bottom. And now that my glue has set on this side, the one where the label was showing, but it's now on the inside of the box, so that doesn't make a difference. And we're going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to make sure that label's on the inside. I'm going to cover it in my glue and place. Oh, I'm doing a better job with the second one, guys. That first one, you would have thought we were having an earthquake or something, the way my glue was going all over the place. Okay. And then I take my finger, and it won't look that messy when I get through with my finger. There we go. We're going to place this one down, about 1/4 of an inch. Going to do the exact same thing.
Hold on a second.
Press down at the top. We're going to clean it up a little bit. Get that glue to take. Isn't this turning out to be really pretty? Now we'll let it dry for a few minutes, and I'll be right back. Y'all, I changed my mind. I think I'm going to go with 12-inch handles. Okay? So let's finish our project. We're going to take our piercer, and on the side, we're going to make an indentation. And like Sherry, I'm going to eyeball I don't measure, I just look and eyeball it on this side. Got that. Then I'm going to take my handles and one at a time I'm going to make an indentation in the handle. Okay, got that hole. I've got this hole. Okay. So now that I've got my holes and I'm using brads, we're going to take one of our brads, and I like this side to be on the inside as a decoration. That way you don't have to cover it. So on the inside of one of the handles, I'm going to put it through. I'm going to put it through the second one. And then I'm going to put it through there. See there how that came out? And just fan it open. And that's one of our handles. Isn't that cute? Going to do the same thing on this side. Going to eyeball, centered, make my hole with my piercer, and do the same thing on the handles. I'm going to make my hole. I'm going to make my second hole. Got that. Place one of the handles, place the other handle, and then run the brads through the handles first. This way you've got the cute little inside and you don't need to cover it at all. Gotta do that. I've got those in. I'm gonna run that through the hole here. Bring it up. Gonna fan my brad. And look at that handle. Isn't that cute? Stinking cute. Now to complete this project, I've just got a simple little embellishment here. And I love the colors. All of the colors could go with this. I think I'm going to go with the pink. I'm going to take the pink, and because we don't know how old these are, I'm going to add just a little bit of glue to keep it in place. So I'm going to put my glue there. Going to place it down over the brad clipping. Let that take. Do the same thing on this side. Well, they're all so pretty. Let me make sure I get the right one again. Yep. Gonna take that, put that here, place it down, give them a time to dry. But isn't that cute? And there you have it. So again, when finished, this measures 6 by 4 by 3.5. And I'm going to bring them all back in at this time for you to see. But isn't that just cute? Look at that. Look at the brad. See the brads on the inside? And remember, this can be for any season, anyone, and just change your paper and change your embellishments. I can see this in a bathroom with a couple of washcloths and some bath bombs. So let me bring the others back in that have the Easter theme. We have this one, we have this one, and we have this one. Happy crafting, y'all. It's been a pleasure to be with you today.